That's just a bummer, but it's just life, right? So I've got to explain to my mom what's happening. Okay. Whole lot of pressure. And when I turn to the light, it really, really hurts. And there's all these tears now. And it's all real red. So it started Saturday night. My eye just felt scratchy. You know, I've got contacts. So I took it out and put another one in. Because sometimes when they get dry, they just feel like I need to pop that out. I didn't have glasses with me. Sunday, I didn't put I wore my glasses all day, didn't put my contacts in until that evening when I went live for a little bit. Yesterday I had that big appointment out, so I had them in for a few hours. Just felt a little bit like dry eye. Took them out yesterday, out all day, but it irritated me out for the rest of the day. Mm-hmm. Irritated me enough that I put when I rested yesterday, I put cold compresses on them.
Yeah.
And anyway, it progressively got worse through the evening. By the time it was bedtime, I couldn't have the light on to read. We've been reading a book called, what's it called? It's an Usborne book, Underpants for Ants, where the little mouse knits little underpants for these cold little ants. And so my youngest loves it, but I couldn't have the light on to read that. And so we listened to audiobooks, but it's just, and I was hoping when I woke up it'd be better. So this morning there's all this pressure, there's all this drainage. If I turn to the light, it feels like I have to scream. When I put all that into ChatGPT or Google, everything says, you know, cornea maybe, go to the ER. If there's pressure and if there's pain and if there's light sensitivity when your eye is closed, go to the ER. So that's what we're doing today.
And don't forget, Jam Fam, right now for a limited time, click the first link in the description below. Head to largefamilytable.com/vault to join my big batch freezer meals and meal prep vault for over 90% off. Plus, for a limited time, use special coupon code JAMFAM to take an additional $50 off. I have pulled all of my big batch freezer meal guides, slow cooker meal plans, kitchen systems, massive meal prep helps, over 2 full courses, and so much more in my brand new Big Batch Freezer Meals and Meal Prep Vault. I love cooking up my Big Batch Freezer Meal Guides so much because the freezer meal prep that's needed before making all the meals is already planned out, and I can take a day and get everything prepped up so that when I have my assembly time afternoon, it's ready to go. Now, not only do these freezer cooking guides help fill a large family freezer, they help fill the freezer of any family size, also working with any size freezer. I have heard from empty nesters and families of 4 and families of 6 who have taken my big batch recipes and my freezer cooking instructions, and they've used my guides to scale their cooking easily to accommodate the amount of people they need to feed on a daily basis, and also to accommodate their freezer size, whether it's a deep freezer in the basement or a single freezer on top of a kitchen refrigerator. And that's why I put over 100 resources, all of my big batch freezer meal guides, my many meal plans, kitchen systems, 2 full courses, and so much more, an over $2,000 value in my big batch freezer meals and meal prep vault. Just like Wendy said in one of the over 1,500 5-star reviews, I started following Jamerrill when I was trying to homeschool 2 kids at once and having a hard time with that and homeschooling at the same time. I would tell myself over and over, if Jamerrill can do it, I surely can. We are still only a family of 5, but I have half the recipes and taken advantage of them as for freezer stocking. Thank you for encouraging me and saving my sanity so many years ago. So you can imagine if dinner was handled, you opened your freezer and it was full. What if you could cook once and your family could eat for a week, a month, or 2? If you had a real system that actually worked for your real life, no matter the size of your family or your freezer, and the next hard season that came your way found your kitchen became your exhale when everything else felt heavy. That is what the Big Batch Freezer Meals and Meal Prep Vault accomplishes in your kitchen. The Big Batch Freezer Meals and Meal Prep Vault is an over $2,000 value. That all bundled together is over 90% off, plus you can take an additional $50 off for a limited time with special coupon code JAMFAM.
So this was not my to-do list. The ER was not my to-do list for today. And, sitting here, I don't have any pain, but if I turn that way to the light, it's very painful. So I've got myself in a okay state right now. I did go to the bathroom and get out of my pajamas and out of my purple bonnet. Just gonna do some running braids today as if I'm running. This is so funny. All little things that make me tender. I had just booked my Super 8 hotel deal last evening while I was resting for my first 50K. I was going to run this coming weekend, which is Mother's Day weekend. And today is May 5th. I have until May 7th. It says I have to cancel before May 7th. So, maybe this is just nothing and it won't be a big deal. I'll get a drop and I'll feel so much better tomorrow. That's cool. We can do, I like that. But I'll need to cancel tomorrow if I won't be able to go. Tomorrow will be May 6th. That's just a bummer, but it's just life, right? I wanted to go because let me talk about running things I may not be able to do. So a 50K is over 30 miles. And the wonderful thing about this particular 50K is there's a 16-hour finishing window. So it's for beginners who are new to the sport. Give them a really big time. Usually 50Ks, there's an 8-hour, 10-hour, sometimes a 12-hour window, just depending. The excellent ultramarathon runners do it in 8 hours or less. And my goal was just to go have a great time. They're going to have mashed potato stations. And it sounded like a really fun gift to myself for Mother's Day weekend this year. And I registered for it in 2025, in November 2025, on a whim. And it got rescheduled for ice. See if my braids are, one's bigger than the other, isn't it? Okay, problems. I know they're not going to care in the ER, but my mom has to handle some things, and she's my ride, so we have a few minutes here to distract and do a little morning prep. But anyway, it got rescheduled, and I was just excited to still maybe go. And my goal, I can walk 30 miles, I think, in 10 hours. But even if it took me 12 because I dilly-dallied and got talking too much at the mashed potato stations and stuff, something like that. I don't know. I can't even see how these braids are looking. We are not okay. We are not okay. Anyway, so that I'm just going to tell you, that's my little ridiculous hopeful thing. That's what I find in hard life situations. I need like a little happy thing to hold on to. My happy thing right now, not get turning towards that light, will be for my eyeball to not hurt when I turn in the light. That'll be good. Life pressures are, like everybody, I have to work. I can't miss any work. I can't miss a step on my tightrope. And I was supposed to have an appointment this morning for my hair color. And then I was going to go out and film at John Henry and Costco. And that was going to be an easy lift video day for me. I was going to go live with my membership, do a pop-up live this afternoon, and which I guess I still might do. Not the shopping, but the live. And then, so it's Tuesday, and then Wednesday and Thursday, I was going to film basically a 4 to 6 hour meal prep video both days. And those 3 videos would give me a solid week of videos because I have my big batch freezer meals and meal plan vault sale that is supposed to end in a week. And checking the braids. Oh, I think that might be okay. I'm going to plug my curling iron in and curl the ends. You know this one's longer. We're ER ready though, right? Right, Jam Fam? Got the country kitchen fly strip behind me. I just figured if I wore a hat and braids, I can take the hat off. These are the things that some women think about when trying to get ready to go to the ER. Okay, my mom's not back yet, so I was telling you something. So anyway, if I got these videos done for the next 3 days, Friday I could still go to my Super 8 motel about 2.5 hours away, eat spaghetti and meatballs because I get to carb load. I get to eat 500 carbs the day before a big event like this, and I have to eat through the whole thing. That's part of what I've learned, like to prevent energy and not to prevent energy, to prevent injury. Injury is the word. Prevent injury and give my muscles the energy stores that they need. Yes, just eat the whole time. So I think now, well, it's just going to depend on what happens when I go in with my eye. I have 2 paths. I can film this video today. Maybe tomorrow I'll be okay enough to film. Might be able to film the meal prep still Wednesday, Thursday. Might only be with one good eye, but I have filmed with only one good eye before. If you've been a couple years in the Jam Fam, you know we can do it with one eye tied behind our back, right? And maybe I can still go Friday. Maybe this will just all be okay. I also vote for just being all okay. I just had a friend tell me it's like 8:18 in the morning, so I'm letting different people know who the ladies who help me behind the scenes, and they don't help me in my house. They help me on the computer, edit and customer service and all those kind of things. The plot twist we have for today, and I let a few other friends know. Someone was telling me to go to an eye doctor and not directly to the ER. My hope is, and what I've seen in the past locally, is my ER has an eye doctor on call. And I was with one person before who had an eye issue, and the eye doctor came in and they were able to look at their eye immediately that day. So I don't know how many things I can coordinate right now. You know, usually we go to the Costco eye doctor every 2 years. I just took how many of my chickens, I think, well, all my minor children, so 6, but one of my young adults too, 7. I took 7 to the Costco eye doctor this December. So anyway, I'm gonna still, since I have to give this day to this, I have to be able to move forward, know what I'm dealing with. Maybe I'll just get a drop, right? We just have an adventure, get a drop. I do have, actually, I know I said it's 8:18. 2 of my elementary boys are still sleeping, and when they sleep in well, I let them. No problem, please sleep. I need to wake them up and let them know the plan. I do have 2 adults home right now. One is leaving for work. The other one's available to be here to help me today for this. So, and then I have 3 teenagers and 3 elementary age kids. So that's one thing about getting kids that become adults is, as a large family single mom, there are times where I have another adult who can help in something like this. Like if my mom has to take me. If my mom didn't have to take me, I'd have my mom and another young adult home. I think she's bringing her car up maybe. Anyway, or that's a motorcycle on the road. Anyway, just drinking my coffee, coordinating what I can before we go. Of course, it's a very bright, sunshiny day. Weather report I think last time I had something with my right eye. So again, in the Jam Fam timeline, almost 3 years ago, I had a big situation with this right eye that I've been thinking a lot about today because the timing is fascinating. And I think I put a contact in this eye so I could wear sunglasses so I could keep this eye closed, but I could still see. And I think that's probably what I should do now. Just trying to coordinate how to function with this. Okay, we're getting ready to leave. My mom had some things she had to do, but also I can't go into the ER without some food. And since I'm not screaming in pain and I have one eye to see out of, I can do this. I am making I just cut a piece of sourdough that's in the toaster. I'm going to put some almond butter on that. I can eat that on the drive. And I've been doing this chia seed faux pudding. It's 1/4 of a cup of chia seeds and then a cup of either unsweetened almond milk or unsweetened. I've got this unsweetened cashew milk from Shop Shopper. And the cashews, chia seeds have to expand for a while and it needs stirred often. But it is like 16 grams of fiber. And I'm all into my fiber numbers, trying to get 30 to 35 grams a day. So that's that adventure. So I will probably be able to eat this by the time we get there. We can leave for another 10 minutes and it's 30 minutes to get there. So, hey, look, I meal prepped, right? My mom's laughing at me. I know, yeah, it is funny. I'm gonna get my almond butter on my sourdough now. And this is my favorite sugar-free crunchy almond butter. So honestly, not enough protein in this breakfast. I had hard-boiled eggs that were prepped yesterday, and we have used those. We've used them over like the last 2 days. But this will be some good carbs for fuel. Dairy isn't always my friend, so I won't necessarily get a cheese stick. And my egg bites, I don't have any defrosted right now, so just have to lack on the protein at the moment. But again, ER, breakfast on the go. Okay, I just got a contact in that eye. This is how this eye is looking, and the light in here isn't bothering me right now. I do have a hat on though, so slowly, next step item, gonna get my sunglasses on to get out the door. Okay, not giving up the hope of finishing the coffee. We are at the ER and the sunlight is very brutal, but we're doing it. Okay, just got this all assessed. I'm getting all my layers of gear on, and we're going to another place to get more testing. So I was fully assessed in the ER. They had some wonderful numbing drops. They would not prescribe those to me though. They said that that can cause cornea trouble, I believe, potentially later. but they got me in with an eye specialist that's about half a mile away to do a deeper assessment. The thing that he was, oh, hold on, my little cover fell. The thing that he is concerned about, when light comes through my good eye, it also triggers all this pain in my eye of concern, and it goes from like the top of my eye down, feels like it's going through my cheekbone. Today's adventures. So there was something, I forget what he called it, there's something with the retina that it might be, and they'll be able to assess it there. And I would probably need steroid drops in this eye, but those should also quickly help the pain. And there's risk factors and things with that they'll tell me about, but we're piecing it together. So I'm in the dark here. They've been doing all their assessments. We're definitely at the right place. They've just done drops to dilate this eye so he can look behind my eye. It's going to take 10 to 15 minutes. And I'm hearing more about the iris versus the retina right now, so we shall see. Okay, my mom is bringing up the car. My eye's dilated, so it's not as painful as it was. We have answers, we have prescriptions, we have, what is it? Inflamed ciliary muscles. I have posterior uveitis of the right eye, okay? And we will become experts on this now. But it's a whole inflammatory thing, and it's my body not being happy. Okay, so pain's coming back, but it did feel so much better. Like, finish the thought, Jamerrill. It felt better when it was dilated. It wasn't as sensitive to light, and the pressure went. So it's probably, I think that only lasts a couple hours. It's probably right on time to start wearing out. So the prescriptions I'm picking up, one I have to use twice a day for the next few days to keep this eye dilated to help with the pain. And then the other is a steroid drop I have to use every hour as long as I'm awake. And I go back in 48 hours or so for them to check in on it. If it doesn't respond to this, there's a whole steroid injection in my eye thing we can do. But we know what it is now. It was not caused by my contacts at all. It is a deep muscle in my eye that has swollen. It's inflamed. It's the ciliary muscle. I don't remember now if I told you all this when I was recording right outside their office, but let's see. It's called posterior uveitis. Okay. Inflammation of the ciliary muscle. So it's just something my body decided to do for a good time, because why not? And this, hopefully these drops and care over the next few days takes care of it. He says sometimes there's people where this particular condition happens a lot. This is the first time it has ever happened for me, and it could just, be weird and random and not happen again. I also know, and I've learned this lesson, and I'm also friends with more and more women who are survivors of a great many things. And we don't always get to choose the things our bodies do in reaction to very hard situations. So we don't always get to choose how our body responds to hard things. There's a book I have not read yet. I've read The Body Keeps the Score, and I have not read When the Body Says No. That's in my stack. There's there's another book called What My Bones Know, I believe is the title of it. Those are all in my trauma survivor recovery stack of reading. Right now I'm currently listening to Dr. Vonda Wright's book Unbreakable, being super encouraged for bone and muscle health as I age. But hold on here. But yeah, this just could be things my body's going through and my eye responding to it. it's just interesting to think about all our bodies hold and know and have to handle and process. And even though I know I'm safe, my body may not know it's safe. That's part of it. Okay, so I'm going to try to get this one in my eyeball again. This is the one that dilates it. I have a lot of pain right now. We're probably at almost a 9 or a 10. And I can use this twice a day, so I'm going to get it in again so I can get some relief to get the other drops in. Okay, so this is wild. Dilated eye, regular old contact in, just fine eye. But the wonderful thing is I have no pain right now. So it's kind of wild looking. I can move my eye around. I have a little break in the pain, which is a mercy, and I can do that drop one more time. So yes, and I also put the first steroid drops in. So right now, while I can, and I can do it without hurting, like I got light shining in, I don't have any pain at the moment. It's a nice thing. Right now, while I can, I'm gonna get my comfy jammies on. Just got my friend Tia's new book in the mail. I pre-ordered this, and so I might be able to do a little reading with my one good eye. I at least have audiobook as an option if I need to. While I'm not in pain, I'm going to get in my pajamas and get in bed. I also told my youngest, so we've been reading that book, Underpants for Ants? I think that's it. We've been reading a bunch of cute books, and I couldn't read them last night because the light was hurting me so much. I know that'll be back, but right now, while I don't have it for a little bit, it'll be a good story time. Okay, hear me out. I don't hurt right now. So pajamas activated, but I didn't have a lot of movement today for obvious reasons. So before laying down flat for the rest of the evening, I've just been out here. Birds are singing, gentle breeze, really nice movement, and my body is made for movement when it can get it. So been walking for a little bit. Still no pain. Thank you, dilating drop. Did the next drop of the steroid eye drops too, and I have a timer set. I just have to remember to do that every hour until I go back here on Thursday. And I started out saying even if I just get 10 minutes in. So I've actually got 1.14 miles. We got a 2-mile-an-hour pace. Been walking for 38 minutes. I'll probably just get to an hour, do my next eye drop, and then call it good. And this is enough adventures for one day, right? Okay, I'm slowing down now, but been walking an hour and 23 minutes, 2.67 miles. Had a nice little decent pace. That's it. I feel fine, still no pain. It is time for the next drop though, so I'm gonna go do that and make myself lay down flat. Well, that was our day. Woke up with no answers, got all kinds of answers, got some steroid drops that are gonna make sense, that are gonna help things out, got a new best friend dilating my eye drop. That is nice. I strategically have a plan tomorrow that I'm gonna go as long as I can in the morning without that, because I can only use that dilating drop twice. But I learned this afternoon that drop equals no pain. So, and they did that in the ER for me, and they did that at the eye specialist too. So by the time I was in line for the Walmart prescription pickup, I really needed that. So my get through tomorrow plan is I'll go as long as I can in the morning without that drop, and then take it and enjoy a couple hours of no pain and pressure, yay. And then at some point in the afternoon, I'll need it again, and I can have it, and then I'll get through the afternoon and evening, and then it's bedtime, just like now. It's bedtime now. So that's the plan. And then the next day I go back to the eye specialist, and he makes sure that everything is progressing. And if there is any more trouble or not progressing how it should be, then there is a doctor there who can give me the steroid medicine as an injection directly into the eye, but we may not need that. So this is I was going to say this is a bummer. This is a bummer in that my work plan for this week, as I shared with you earlier, was to do another grocery shopping video and 2 meal prep days. And now I have done an emergency room video, and I'll need to do another video, but it won't be big cooking over the next 2 or 3 days. Next 2 days, and I'm hopeful Friday that I'm able to drive, or I can have someone drive me and film a grocery shopping video. This is not a great time to go down with some posterior eye inflammation. Again, not on the to-do list, but what is, right? So these adventures are never the kind of adventures we have on the bingo card, right? So, and that's one of the eye conditions they were testing me for today. I was like, let's not have that on the 2026 bingo card right now. It would be super great to not have that on the bingo card for this year. But again, we don't always get to choose these things. So the timing isn't great with all of this, because this is my last week for my big batch freezer meals and meal prep vault sale. And I wanted 3 more videos to share about the vault and cook more recipes that are included in the vault, and maybe even some more freezer cooking. Although I knew I wouldn't be getting giant freezer cooking in. Had a plan. Tomorrow's video, I was going to meal prep 3 dinner recipes, 1 like big sheet pan breakfast recipe, and 1 dessert. And I can do that filming and all the chatty production stuff in about 4 to 6 hours. And then my next day's meal prep was yet to be decided. I had been thinking about maybe some jar salads and some jarred overnight oats, and I was honestly going to look back. I have a whiteboard in the kitchen that has cooking projects from this winter and some things that were left that I didn't get to. But I don't think I'm doing those now. I think that the rest of this week is all the freezer meals we've already made that are already prepped and ready to go. But if you haven't yet, click the first link in the description below. Head to largefamilytable.com/vault to join the big batch freezer meals and meal prep vault. We love to say that all the time over here. It's an over $2,000 value. It's over 90% off. And for a limited time through, so I have to look up to see it on my mental air notes. Someone in my live event the other night was like, oh, Jamerrill's air notes. I do have air notes. May 11th at 11:59 p.m. The limited time Jam Fam coupon code expires. But the vault has everything you need to stock your freezer, everything I have used to stock my freezer for times like this, right? I would love to have 2 fun, chatty, filming meal prep days, but instead I probably will not be cooking. I don't know, maybe not until next week, and that's okay because I have a stocked freezer ready to go, and these are the times we need a stocked freezer for. So there's over 100 resources, 2 complete courses, all 24 of my big batch freezer meal guides, meal plans, and so much more. largefamilytable.com/vault. I appreciate you. Thanks for being here with me, and on to the next adventure.